Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Random Neighborhood Kid.
And Mr. Magazine is recovering from successful surgery. He's got a new hip. And so Random Neighborhood Kid was nice enough to sit in today on the BOLO video. Do you know what a BOLO is?
No, I don't.
No. Well, for those out there that do not know, it's be on the lookout. So these are all items that you should be able to look for out there. When you find them, buy them because you can make some good money on them. And I picked out all of the items today, kind of to talk about with Random Neighborhood Kid. Some of the things we're going to see what he knows, and some of the things we're going to see if we can't surprise him with the sales. Are you ready, Random Neighborhood Kid?
Born ready.
There we go. All right, the first thing we're starting with today is King Kong Official Movie Souvenir Mag, Winter 2006. Went for $15. And I brought this up because I was wondering, are you familiar with King Kong?
Yeah, the movie.
Okay.
Was this before or after the movie?
Well, the first movie was done in the 1930s or late 20s.
Oh.
So, and then the movie that I grew up with was made in 1976. So they did do a more recent version of it. So it sounds like every 50 years they go and they do a movie of King Kong. So that might be one of those things. If you are really sitting on the long tail, start picking them up, and in about year 2070, you'll make a killing with the King Kong things. Did you see the movie?
A long time ago.
Oh, a long time ago. In 1932 at the theater?
Yeah.
Nice.
Abraham Lincoln was there. It was awesome.
Oh, yes. Nice. I'll bring up the next one over here. Oops. Okay, next thing I brought up was, speaking of movies, have you ever seen this movie? Uncle Sam, I Want You Dead.
No, but I'm glad I haven't.
You're not going to check to see if that's on your local streaming service?
No, it's terrible.
So that went for $20 thereabouts. Are you even familiar with what a laser disc is?
No. It looks like a record, though.
Yeah, it's the size of a record, and it has a special player to put it in. A lot of times those odd formats, for whatever reason, end up selling. I doubt this is on streaming. Probably not on DVD even. So if for some reason you absolutely need to see Uncle Sam, I Want You Dead, you're going to have to buy a special player and watch it. Probably worth it, though.
I'll check the Rotten Tomatoes first.
Oh, I'm sure it's got a stellar rating.
Yeah.
Hit the like button on Uncle Sam, I Want You Dead. Next item. The NOS stands for New Old Stock. Did you know that in the Random Neighborhood Kid?
No. I thought it meant nitrous.
It may mean that as well.
Yeah.
But New Old Stock is, it just means it's like basically from a shelf, never really opened, never really used type deal, but it's an older item. AT&T, you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay, because they do cellular now. Trimline Lit Touch Wall. See, it's lit. Isn't that what you kids say?
Oh.
Wall and table phone T-Berry. Those are, now you're old enough to remember before cellular phones and people had the phones like that, the corded phones and all that.
Am I old enough?
Yeah, you remember corded phones, people not having cell phones, or
No.
people have always had
Do you
cell
know
phones?
what year I was even born?
Well, cell phones, I guess cell phones did come out in the early 90s. They started hitting people pretty strong, didn't they? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be, would you?
No.
Oh, well, if you happen to see one of these out there, you can get $55 for it, though.
Okay.
A new old stock phone. Now, there are still some people that sit there and use corded phones. Bring up the next one if you could. Now, I know you love going out camping. Would you need one of these in your camping? Vintage Sears Hatchet, number 4815, forged metal handle, rubber grip and cover, made in Japan. $22.50 for something or other like that. Now, you, I'm sure, have priced various camping goods and all that kind of thing. What would a hatchet like that run me new? Any idea?
Probably like $20 to $30.
So it's basically the same,
Yeah.
except here you're buying an old collectible one, potentially.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if they were buying it to use or buying it for the collection. The thing that strikes me about this is that the leather case looks to be pretty good shape. A lot of times when you get into the older things, the leather starts wearing, doesn't necessarily age very well. But that leather looks to be pretty good there. I want to bring up the next item there. There you go. Now that's somewhere I wouldn't want to be. How about you?
No.
Primitive Archer Magazine, Los Arcos Went to Archery, 2007. Now it only went for $10, which is kind of surprising, because it's not a magazine I've ever seen before. Gotta love the title right there at the top, Hog Wild in Texas. And the gentleman gets his little bow and arrow, and he's got a boar charging at him.
Yeah, he's a little close.
Yeah, he might as well just take the arrow and stick it in.
Yeah.
At that point. But a lot of times, again, he did sell this for $10, Mr. Magazine did. So it's kind of seems low to me. I probably would have asked more money on something other like that. Originally he had it at $15. I put it on sale there, but again, I would have asked more on it just because I've never seen that magazine before. Now, you've heard of Freddie?
Oh, yeah.
You've heard of Jason?
Yeah.
You've heard of Ash?
Nope.
Okay. I've never heard of Ash either. He was the one that I thought that you would know.
Oh, no.
Freddie versus Jason versus Ash wall poster, triple cover, $20 for that, 11 by 17. So something or other about that to put up in the wall. But horror movies are always popular, and of course, Freddy and Jason are always things you want to be looking for when you're out there. There are some very, very serious collectors of that kind of thing, and you can never go wrong with the horror movies. So kind of a neat little. Would you like that on your apartment wall?
I would. I don't think I'd want Ash in the middle. I don't even know who that is.
Well, you could put your face over Ash.
Oh, true.
The other problem I would have is, would you really run that in your apartment room and you wake up one night groggy and you look up and you see Freddy coming down at you? Next up, Cracked Magazine. Now this is the Mad Magazine. It's like if you didn't have enough money for Mad Magazine, you bought Cracked. But the cover does make me laugh.
That is pretty funny, though.
I got to give him credit for that one. That is a pretty funny cover there. Everybody always buys the Mad Magazine. The Cracked Magazine are actually much more difficult to find, but there are a lot fewer people collecting them as well. I end up getting $20 out of this, though. But again, you'll find 5 to 10 Mad Magazines from this era compared to one Cracked Magazine. So definitely do pick up the Cracked, because a lot of people walk by it because, again, it's kind of a low rent version. Now, I'm sure you've seen signs like this when you're out there on your job sites, Random Neighborhood Kid.
What's that, wet paint?
Wet paint signs.
Yeah, no one really cares enough to put them up, but...
Well, if they did, they'd have to pay $20 per sign, because this went for $20. Another thing there you can tell, now it's not dated, but you can tell it's 1930s just by the way that the lettering looks and the colors look. Dutch Boy, white lead, so I don't know if they're still using lead paint out there on the job site. Good idea, don't lick the walls. But a sign like this over here, like I said, you can get $20 out of it. You can find them out there. I paid a couple of dollars for this at an estate sale, so it's kind of neat, and you find a lot of these out there if you look for them.
So you'd get this when you'd buy paint, or?
Yep. Almost like now, I don't know if you bought paint yourself, but when you go to buy paint, they'll give you like the paint stirrer. It was kind of the same type deal back then. You would get one of these. Probably contractors would get it, I would think.
They just want the promo, the Dutch Boy promo.
Right. Well, the other thing, too, is you see the white part down below.
Yeah. A
lot of times you'll find these over here with the name of a local painter and his area on it as well. So it'll be like Random Neighborhood Kid Painting, Rochester, New York. That kind of deal on it. So they would provide it to the contractors. The contractors could advertise, and Dutch Boy would get advertising as well.
We all win.
It is a win-win. Now, there's some pretty groovy looking things there. I know you're always wearing those headphones like that when you're walking around with your phone.
Yeah.
Yours are wireless, not wired, but Allied Radio Shack. You probably never even heard of Radio Shack, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They were around.
All right.
When they go out, like 2015, probably.
Was it? I don't know.
Not too long ago.
1971 catalog number 300. Turntables. Do you know what a turntable is?
Kind of. Not really.
It's a record player.
Okay, yeah.
Receivers and electronics.
I was going to say, but that right there doesn't look like what
No,
I had
that's
in mind.
not a turntable. No. That's some kind of a receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look over here too, pretty important thing to do. You give a whole bunch of pictures, and if you go down, I think, to the bottom picture, there's an index, so that way if somebody wants to, they can go into it and look and say, oh, does it have, and it'll tell you all the various things that are in there as well. always do put the pictures of the index in there. Don't put them as the first picture, obviously, but do put them in there because people will want to read and say, oh, does this have? Because people use these for reference and people like to collect them. Next up, all right, I'm going to put you're a big football fan?
No.
Big sports fan? You
Not
know
really.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You know Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
You know Joe Namath.
I heard of the name.
Okay. You know Johnny Unitas.
Nope.
Fran Tarkington.
Nope.
Now Lou Alcindor is not. He's up there at the top there as a basketball player. Would you know him if I give you his other name?
Probably.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lou Alcindor changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Why did he do that?
Because he became a Muslim. So I wanted to bring this up here. It only went for $8. It took an $8 offer, even though I was asking $19. However, it's been listed since 2013. I figured after 10 years, if nobody wanted it, I just kind of wanted it gone. I also was charging shipping back then, so I'm getting $12 out of it. But I just wanted to bring this up here to see if you had ever heard of those players. At least Joe Namath, hey, people still know who you are, and Kareem, people know who you are. And the last item we have up today.
So is Lou his Muslim name?
No, Lou was his given name, and then he changed it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yep. And last but not least, how cool looking is that? Nancy comic strip original art, Guy Gilchrist, June 11, 2014, Surfing Slugo. And we've told you any number of times before, buy surfing stuff, it does sell. I'm going to give you 3 guesses, Random Neighborhood Kid.
Mm-hmm.
This sold. Guess what state it sold to? And I know which 3 states. Give me the 3 states that you would guess.
Florida.
Maybe.
Hawaii.
Maybe.
And California.
Yep, California. And I was thinking in my head he's going to say Hawaii, Florida, and California because those would be the 3. And sure enough, this sold to somebody in San Diego, California. They paid $84 for it. The way I'm thinking about it, though, is I'm sure there are any number of surf shops out there that probably cut this comic strip out and put it up on the wall. Mm-hmm. Whoever bought this is the only person in the world that has the original now. So how cool is that to have the original up on your wall? And $84 actually seems like a pretty cheap price to pay when every other surf shop has the one that was printed in a newspaper and you actually have the original up on the wall. I thought that was really, really neat, and I was laughing because it did go out to San Diego, where, of course, there's a huge surfing culture out there as well. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Surfing always sells, always noted in there. I know a couple of subscribers have reached out to me and told me about various things that they've sold because they highlighted the surfing, and they said, wow, you were right, the surfing stuff does sell. And the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Have you ever heard that saying?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just now.
Good. Oh, nice. All right, and on that note, we're going to ask you to hit the like button, leave some comments down below, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.